Variables are the memory locations. These hold any data to be used by any program. Let's take an example. Here, name is a variable that holds and stores the value John. X equals 5, A equals 6, user equals Sam, etc. are some more examples of variables. There are 5 types of variables supported by Ruby. Ruby Global Variables, Ruby Instance Variables, Ruby Class Variables, Ruby Local Variables, Ruby Constants. Global variables begin with $. Uninitialized global variables have the value nil and produce warnings with the W option. Assignment to global variables alters the global status. It is not recommended to use global variables. They make programs cryptic. Instance variables begin with @. Uninitialized instance variables have the value nil and produce warnings with the W option. Class variables begin with @. It must be initialized before they can be used in method definitions. Referencing an uninitialized class variable produces an error. Class variables are shared among descendants of the class or module in which the class variables are defined. Overriding class variables produce warnings with the W option. Local variables begin with a lowercase letter or underscore. The scope of a local variable ranges from class, module, def, or from a block's opening brace to its close brace. When an uninitialized local variable is referenced, it is interpreted as a call to a method that has no arguments. The variables start to exist until the end of the current scope is reached. The lifetime of local variables is determined when Ruby parses the program. In the above example, local variables are ID, name and address. Constants begin with an uppercase letter. Constants defined within a class or module can be accessed from within that class or module. Those defined outside a class or module can be accessed globally. Constants may not be defined within methods. Referencing an uninitialized constant produces an error. Making an assignment to a constant that is already initialized produces a warning. Self minus the receiver object of the current method. True minus value representing true. False minus value representing false. Nil minus value representing undefined. Underscore file underscore minus the name of the current source file. Underscore line underscore minus the current line number in the source file. You cannot assign any value to these variables. An operator is a symbol. It represents an operation to be performed with one or more operands. Operators are the foundation of any programming language. Operators allow us to perform different kinds of operations on operands. Arithmetic operators. Comparison operators. Logical operators. Assignment operators. Bitwise operators. Ternary operator. Range operators. Defined operator. Dot and double colon operators. These are used to perform arithmetic/mathematical operations on operands. Addition plus operator adds 2 operands. For example, x plus y. Subtraction dash operator subtracts 2 operands. For example, xy. Multiplication, operator multiplies two operands. For example, xy. Division slash, operator divides the first operand by the second. For example, xy. Modulus percent, operator returns the remainder when the first operand is divided by the second. For example, x% y. Exponent, operator returns exponential power of the operands. For example, xy. Comparison operators or relational operators are used for comparison of two values. Let's see them one by one. Equal to equals equals operator checks whether the two given operands are equal or not. If so, it returns true. Otherwise it returns false. For example, 5 equals equals 5 will return true. Not equal to. Equals operator checks whether the two given operands are equal or not. If not, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. It is the exact Boolean complement of the equals equals operator. For example, 5 exclamation mark equals 5 will return false. Greater than operator checks whether the first operand is greater than the second operand. If so, it returns true. Otherwise it returns false. For example, 6 greater than 5 will return true. Less than operator checks whether the first operand is lesser than the second operand. If so, it returns true. Otherwise it returns false. For example, 6 less than 5 will return false. Combine combination, less than equals greater than operator return 0 when first operand equal to second, return 1 when first operand is greater than second operand, and case equality operator equals it will test equality in case statement. Equal. This operator returns true if the receiver and argument have both the same type and equal values. Equal. This operator returns true if the receiver and argument have the same object ID. Comments are lines of annotation within Ruby code that are ignored at runtime. A single line comment starts with hash character and they extend from hash to the end of the line as follows. When executed, the above program produces the following result. You can comment multiple lines using equals begin and equals end syntax as follows. When executed, the above program produces the following result.